Man, I didn't think I was gonna experience this African storm. Just amazing. Welcome to the Serengeti. So getting to the Serengeti is actually not that easy, and there's a lot of things that you need to know before you actually come. So first my flight started in Zanzibar. I had to make a quick pit stop in Arusha, and then that flight took me over to Serengeti. The plane was extremely small, and I gotta say, flying over Kilimanjaro mountain was pretty surreal to me. Now the airstrip that you do land, again, you're landing in the middle of the Serengeti, so there are animals around, and I didn't realize how close they were until we started to drive out. Make sure you keep in contact with your driver and the tour, so that way they can pick you at a good time if you are having any delays. Now, something else to know is you can't just fly here without being booked with a lodge and with a gaming company. Most lodges do offer tours and gaming to check out the savannah, but there are fees when you fly in because you do have to enter the national park. Now, of course, no adventure begins with having some issues right from the start of the trip. So, the vehicle broke. We're driving, and I think the axle on the back left completely broke off. The start of this trip is not looking good at all. So we're here at the check gate so far, and I gotta say, it was a hot mess. I guess the car broke down. They were about an hour and a half late to come get me. Then we got turned around, the transmission got locked, and we got stuck for a little bit. And then we finally got it going, and then, well, the car broke down completely. So I'm in this new car right now. Super lucky that these guys came over. I think there's a gate here for like check-in before you either get in or out of the park. I don't know if you have to do a double check-in, but that's kind of what happens. Yeah, what a hot mess. Okay, so made it to the hotel. Wait for the next episode, because I will show you guys the hotel, how it looks like, but the place is actually pretty amazing. So finally got to the camp, is what they call them, after the crazy start of the adventure, because this is what it is. It's an adventure. Every time something happens, try not to let things get down to you. Sometimes you let your anger get the best of you and kind of ruins your trip. So good story to tell, pretty amazing. Trying to find out exactly what we're gonna go do after this, but this area is like surrounded by a bunch of animals and stuff, so very exciting. So Kuom is a very unique experience, not like your typical hotel, which doesn't exist here, and also not like your camps. This is more of a middle ground, but a very elevated level of what they do. I was very lucky for Joel, the guy who runs this facility, that saved my first day here and took me to a local tribe, which was something I thought I would never be able to experience. Very grateful for him, and stay tuned for another episode that I will cover the stay and the tribe. Let's go ahead and head out to the safari now. They do call them gaming tours, and I am with Golden Tours Tanzania, which does and caters to doing some of the tours. Now there's a lot of companies out there, so make sure you do your research. So let's go check this out. So the only thing I know about the Serengeti has always been the great migration of the wildebeests. I also know that the big five exist here. Now, if you aren't sure about the big five, it is the lion, the rhino, the leopard, the elephant, and the buffalo. It is extremely hard to see a rhino because of how endangered they are, but remember, you're in their natural habitat, so just enjoy the experience. There is nothing that could have prepared me for this adventure, but once I was here, I was just left in awe. So while you're out here in Africa, you just never know when you're gonna get an African storm. Oh, this is amazing. Now I am staying here, as you can see right behind me. This is the Kuom camp tent lodge. I'm not even sure how to explain it, but I'm going to show you guys a video on my next episode on how this place is. But if you're looking for something that is not like the Four Seasons, oh my gosh, I just saw big old lightning. Wait for it. Here it comes. Wow. If you're looking for something that's not like the Four Seasons, which they do have the Four Seasons here, which is extremely expensive, and you don't want a tent where your tent is on the ground, these little domes are above ground. You have guards, guides, everything. But it's incredible. Highly recommend this place. Make sure to stay tuned for my next episode, which I'm going to give you guys a tour, but it's amazing. Now you're probably wondering, when you go on a safari, how does the car look like? What is the actual adventure while you're going? Are there any rules that you need to follow? So this is what you should know before you go. So the inside of the vehicles were very, very comfortable. They did have the pop-up roof on pretty much all the vehicles from most companies. And I thought this was a very cool experience because you could actually stand up and take videos and pictures. Now keep in mind, you are in the savannah. There is bumpy roads everywhere, so you're not going to get a smooth ride. Now the other thing is, I did have car issues, but even then everybody was so helpful. You were able to jump in from one vehicle to the next with no issues at all. And just keep in mind, there is a very good chance that something could happen to the vehicle because you are on these rough terrains. So a flat tire, a broken gear, or messed up transmission, something like that could constantly happen. So these guys are always working around the clock fixing their vehicles. When you go to sleep, these guys are actually working on their vehicles overnight. Now, thank you to the tour company I was with. They brought me here to this lunch area and was able to relax out in the open in the wilderness and just hang out with my guide and get to know him better. I gotta say, my driver, which his name is Innocent, was amazing and great and took care of my experience and did a very good job to finding all the animals. Couldn't ask for a better driver. Now, what's pretty awesome too is while you're coming through here, you never know what you're gonna expect. So you kind of have to just go with the flow. Hakuna Matata, no worries. Like, that's a thing. You actually just have to just go with it and see what we find. Could get pretty lucky, and who knows what you'll see. Now, the Maasai tribes or different societies were migrating from Central Africa to search for water and greener pastures. And something happened. They found this land, and in their whole journey from Central Africa to the eastern parts of Africa, they have never seen anything like it. So the tribes called this place Serengeti, which means endless plains. Of course, we've talked about the lion, the cheetah, the elephant, the buffalo, and the rhino, but there's also the leopards, the wildebeest, giraffes, zebras, hyenas, hippos, Nile crocodiles, monkeys, gazelles, impalas, and we can go on forever with how many animals are on here. The biggest thing that happens here is the wildebeest migration. This happens every year, and about 1.5 million wildebeest usually get also joined by 200,000 zebras, 300,000 gazelles will make the long journey of searching for greener pastures. This place is the survival of the fittest. They will run through the waters even if there's crocodiles or hippos. They will run through open plains even if there's lions or cheetahs. It is just incredible what this land has to offer, and I highly recommend anybody that has the chance to come actually do this. Just like that, the adventure is over. I don't even know what to say. Like, this thing was, yeah, I never imagined that I would have seen what I saw. The only thing that we didn't see is the rhinos. They're very endangered. It's hopefully they're gonna bounce their species back up. I know the government here is trying really, really hard to protect them and stuff, so hopefully they can bring them back. But yeah, this is amazing. I said earlier this year, when I was in Antarctica, what's next? Because I didn't think anything was gonna be as incredible, but man, literally, what is next? I don't know where to go from here now. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Any suggestions, let me know.